Born in 1994, Tamaryn represents the work it takes to build a society. It's been her diligence, the support of her parents, David and ELLIRENE Green, and bursaries which helped put her into sixth-year medicine, following her sister Lauren, a qualified physiotherapist.
Tamaryn, what does it feel like to be back in Cape Town?
Oh, I love it. You know, it's home. When you get here, you feel safe. Your family's here. And I'll take any opportunity to come and visit, you know, the winelands. It's beautiful.
ELLIRENE, I can imagine you haven't seen much of Tamaryn lately, and what a treat to be spending this beautiful day with both of your daughters.
Oh, I'm very happy to have both my daughters here. One came all the way from Port Elizabeth, and I think I'm feeling very blessed today.
And being all the way in Port Elizabeth, it's good to see her again after such a long time. Like, we've really missed each other.
Another celebrated product of this area are the award-winning Chardonnays and Cabernets of the Vrede and List wine estate. Bought by Etienne Base's family 22 years ago, its famous vineyards have flourished under their watch.
What makes this farm different from the others?
We offer the carriage rides on horseback. You can do wine tastings, visit us, our neighbours. And then this is an authentic old wine farm. It dates back to 1688. So what you get is real. It's not a aftermarket Disney copy now.
That said, it's a place where fairy tales often play out for happy brides.
So our next scene involves 3 princesses, a horse-drawn carriage and a lost slipper.
Wow.
Happily, this carriage doesn't turn into a pumpkin at midnight, so there was plenty of time to get to know Tamaryn, her mother, and her sister.
Well, it's not every day that I get to ride in a horse and carriage with a beautiful Miss South Africa. Have you done anything like this before?
Never done anything like this before. Always wanted to. I love and have a passion for horses especially. And just being amongst, you know, in the winelands, I love that so much.
I believe you're no stranger to the world of pageantry. What was the first one you entered?
You know, I actually started with a pageant at my church. So I was very young and they told me compete and it was fun. You know, I think I made second princess or something like that. And, you know, it was just a lot of fun. And then it just went on into my school where people encouraged me to participate in pageants. And I saw that the community enjoyed it. It brings people together. And that's how I came to love it.
ELLIRENE, this whole process must have been quite overwhelming. How did you first feel when Tamaryn was crowned?
Happy, overwhelmed. The people was jumping up and I really couldn't feel anything because they was just hugging us, and just afterwards it was sinking in that, oh my word, my daughter's really Miss South Africa. Happy, happy and blessed.
Lauren, I can see that you and your sister are very close. Can you describe your relationship?
Growing up, you know, I noticed that we have 2 very different personalities. She, I would say, is the more confident, very extroverted, loves the crowd, loves engaging with people. Yeah, she's taught me a lot through that process. So being together now and maturing into our sort of identities, I think it's amazing because we've learned so much from one another.
What have been some of your highlights as your reign as Miss South Africa so far?
Meeting Cyril Ramaphosa has to be up on that list, and actually uprooting and moving to Johannesburg because I am a small town girl from Paarl, so getting used to Joburg is it's a big highlight.
As it was to discover that holding the reins of these horses was renowned show jumper, stunt horse and polo cross driver Michelle MAZURKIEWICZ, doing what she was born to do.
Michelle, that was so cool. I felt like I was transported back in time. Tell me a bit more about your collaboration with Vrede and List.
It's been a dream of mine to do this now for many, many years. Horse and carriages, you don't see it anymore today. And I've been given the privilege to be able to operate from this estate. Tracy and Etienne Base invited me to come here. And it's the perfect venue for carriages. I mean, the whole area is completely surreal. It's magnificently beautiful. And look at this. This must be one of the wedding meccas of South Africa.
These magnificent surrounds don't distract Ms. Green from the realities which she got into medicine to address. When she returns to finish her degree, it'll be with a profile which allows her to do so much more.
Tamaryn, you're quite vocal in your need to reconstruct a better South Africa. How do you hope to achieve this?
I'm very passionate about health, first of all, being a medical student. So I understand the crisis that we have in our country for health, inequality and specific problems. So I really want to contribute to that. Also just, being a role model to the young women, to inspire them, to show them, you can come from a small town, but you can step outside those lines and you can, there's so many more opportunities out there. So throughout the year of REIN, I really want to incorporate those aspirations.
Tamaryn, I want to level for a second. Being Miss South Africa must be incredibly stressful. How on earth do you deal with it?
It really can be. I think there's a lot of social pressures and pressure from the media, a lot of things that I'm not used to. The way I deal with this is I speak to my family. I call my parents, my mom and dad. A talk with them always helps. And my friends, they're very supportive. And then I also have, a lot of faith. So I'll get down on my knees and I'll speak to God. And that's how I get through those challenging times.
At their home in Paarl, we met the man she calls her rock. Like her mother, who's a teacher, Tamaryn's father, David Green, also works in education as a curriculum advisor.
David, you must be incredibly proud. What was Tamaryn like as a child growing up?
She was, in those days, I would actually say, in the shadow of her sister. Her sister was academically very strong. And Tamaryn always wanted to be as good and even better than her sister. And this brought the fighting thing in her out, I think. And that is why she aspired, whenever she did something, she aspired to just do her best. And she would work hard and dedicate herself towards becoming the best in whatever she's trying to do. And that's what I know about my child.
ELLIRENE, what was your fondest memory of Tamaryn as a child?
Tamaryn taking part in the High Stedford. I don't know if you know, it's a lot of schools taking part in they saying poems. And Tammy was saying, Polly Pickle Nose. And she came back with gold. And that was my memory I can really remember about her.
Right, Polly Pickle Nose, let's hear it.
Oh my gosh, okay. Are you serious?
Yes, serious.
Are you serious? Oh, can I remember the words? Okay. I have to be very serious because that, as a child I was very expressive. So it goes like this. Polly, Polly, goodness gracious. Won't you stop? You're making faces. Polly laughed at what they said, cocked his nose and went to bed. But the big bad boogie heard. And he came without a word. Popped right in, you bet a nickel. In his hand, a great, great pickle. Pinned it to his nose, and there it grows. Oh, poor Polly Pickle Nose. Who would have thought that's a poem that you would say at High Stedford, but I got gold.
Way beyond a pageant victory, the social responsibility which comes with this title grows every year, but so does the support of former Miss South Africas.
This really is a beautiful crown. I'm sure our viewers would love to see it up close.
So if you can look really closely, you can actually see the names of all the previous Miss South Africas, all the previous winners, and soon my name will be on here as well.
What's it like for you sharing this crown with this powerhouse of South African women?
The night that I won, the next day I opened my WhatsApp and there was a group with all the previous Miss South Africas in it. And I was one of them. Automatically I was just, they were congratulating me and they're like, we're so excited to see what you're going to do with this title. And it's always women that you've looked up to and you never ever thought you'd meet them. And now I have the opportunity to sit down for coffee with them and that's a blessing.
You are such a wonderful family and I can see why you deserve this title so much. We wish you all the best for your reign as Miss South Africa and we'll be watching you closely.
Thank you very much, Aiden.
Here's to another Miss Universe win this December.